All right. So what I'm going to be talking about is not quite unique, but it's a topic that's been on my mind, and well, essentially it opens up by this. I kind of want to be an asshole. It's something that I like a lot, just by imagining situations and how it would go. I actually have like a huge grin whenever I think of this. It just feels like way more interesting and way more dynamic. And I guess you have the typical uh, pre-programmed dialogue with people that is like very nice and doesn't really go anywhere. But being an asshole, it can make things a lot more interesting. And I think it's also been uh, it comes from this uh, string of thought that I've had uh, that in dealing with cooperation and how to deal with like conflicts, things like this. Uh, there's this annoying guessing game that is pretty typical, and it's just so much more difficult. It's safer for both parties because no one has to really expose themselves and say it plainly. But if you just get used to saying things plainly and everyone does that, it is so much easier. There's no guessing game, and I say we have a new situation. I don't know how you're going to react in that new situation, what you want. And if we just speak plainly, it's quite straightforward usually. Usually, actually, it takes both people to be straightforward. But one, it still works better, I think. And with that, and I guess also specific situations in my life, I've gotten used to being a bit more of an asshole, and I quite like it. In this case, because I'm just arriving here in Cambridge, where there's many more people, I actually don't like most people, and I do enjoy it as a bit of a revolt against the what's called like the other. So before, maybe I was a bit more idealistic. Maybe I thought that there is something there. They talk about agape and things like this. Everyone has worth. That's something that you should really respect. Now, I'm really not so convinced. I'm like, oh, they're going to be miserable anyway. It doesn't really matter what I do. I can have more fun, or they're like messing things up a bit. I can at least, uh, take my piece of the pie and not worry about them because, well, whatever I'll do, they'll take it badly. Um, and so I feel much more free to revolt against it because there's just stuff that I don't like, especially recently that I feel that in some way it is feeling very constraining and doesn't really give much in return. Uh, but still, it's not quite straightforward as that. So there's a conflict where, like, say, I walk around, and immediately I have a sense that I care about what other people are thinking, very self-conscious. At the same time, I'm like, I don't actually care about what they think. And, well, some straightforward guess is that, biology is very important, of course. Then maybe there's a spiritual aspect, the agape thing is actually correct, and somehow you have an intuition of that. But on a negative side, I don't like these people, find them annoying. Which is actually perfectly consistent from what I've heard other people talk about, uh, that, you have love even for people that you don't like. It's not about liking everyone. Uh, yeah. And even if I have that guess that probably there is something there that would unify these two perspectives and would feel much more whole, I don't want to be too quick to act on that. I'm just like very honestly saying I don't like these people. To a degree where like unloving, really. Uh, and I'm expecting that as I look deeper into things, if what other people say is really true, then that will get revealed. And there's no real use in trying to force it. Also, here there's a lot of it which is like a psychological thing. And so here's a particular mechanism of how I don't like it. And how I would guess that most people don't like it. So it's essentially this thing of politics. Everyone hates politics. They don't like it at work. They don't like it in politics. And essentially what is happening there is that there is, like, you can never really feel comfortable. People are making you care about things that maybe you didn't really actually care about. And there's going to be, because you don't care about it, but the other people are making you care about it, what ends up happening is that you're just going for appearances. And this feels very hollow and this is very unsatisfying. And this like ends up with things, with people thinking or feeling that they're putting on a mask and not really enjoying themselves. All the enjoyment they would have had, they cannot get just because they're totally separated from the social situation. But this is sort of what seems to be the strategy that is required in a political game. And in some certain sense, yeah, it's a bit not straightforward what the solution is. There are some people which are very brave or, so for some other reason, are able to just completely opt out of this. And these are people that we admire a lot. For example, Diogenes, is interesting because he had nothing, none of the material situations that we would want. It would seem like totally terrible news. But at least at a distance of this historical figure many, many years ago, he seems like, his goals. Oh, I would love to be that guy. That is really awesome that he just doesn't care. And he just opts out of this political game, and he seems to be totally at ease. And this is really what we like. But it's weird how it doesn't really feel like an option. A critical part of it is that, despite me not caring about it, you have forced me to care about it. But there's a component where it seems like in some way it is a choice. Diogenes was able to opt out of it, and so maybe we can opt out of it as well. And you have to do that carefully and slowly, or maybe do it quickly. Do whatever you want. But this is, to really act on it is usually working quite well. And this is why I sort of want to rebel. It's more fun for me. And it also really does get rid of this taboo of having to just consistently respond to other people, making you care about stuff. And it's unfortunate that you sort of have to do it like this, because people don't necessarily have to be playing a political game. I've spoken with retirees, and those people are amazing. It's such a nice time. Well, not all of them, of course, but usually just they've got nothing left to do. They don't really have, particular hope of the future. Things are going downhill. They're going to die soon. So just like enjoying the moment. Uh, and also, there's a part where usually they're grateful to have someone to talk to that's, young. But aside from that, it's really great. And if everyone was like that, there won't be much problem with politics. But politics is pretty uh, widespread, and especially in a place like Cambridge, where there's a lot of young students, very insecure. It's going to happen a lot. Um, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, how it'll be in reality, no one would really see that I'm rebelling. It's because you have these big ideas, and then when it comes to it, actually maybe I'll be a bit nicer. Because there is a sense where now I'm like, I don't care about these people, but then when I come closer to them, there's a biological aspect or some other aspect that makes you a bit softer. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. All right, take care.